What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Two Guys, One Gamepad. Hope you enjoyed the last episode of us talking about random shit with DC, the way we think it should go, a few video game movies, and some other random shit with James Bond and other things like that, which made me think of another episode, or another topic to talk about this episode. But until then, I want to see how my baby girl Sig is doing.
Oh, all right. You'll call me baby girl, but you won't call me Poppy. All right.
I'll put you in the corner.
Now I put the baby in the corner. Oh my god. That's your baby girl, you little fucker. Oh my god. No, I mean, okay, so last episode we talked very heavily on DC, James Gunn specifically, about it. And then James Bond, we found a lot out there, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
Lots of good stuff coming out. Go check it out. It's a good episode. But that has me intrigued. Rahgel, what did you have in mind? Other than that I'm your baby girl, and that's like a little weird. Calling a grown ass man baby girl, and this is not prison, so you got the wrong
Prison
brother.
Rules, that's how we do it.
You got the wrong brother, literally speaking. Wrong brother.
We talked a lot about Peacemaker, and we always reference, and you always talk about Deadpool. A lot of the music that is in these movies, Deadpool has great movie or great music to go along with it. Peacemaker has a great opening scene with their dancing number at that, songs that they play in that show as well, and there are other movies around that have great soundtracks as well. But what kind of music?
Disney. Let's just get that out of the way. We're only 2 minutes into this.
Princess songs you listen to.
Wait, say that question one more time.
What is your go-to music? I mean, outside of soundtracks, because I mean, we can probably list a couple great soundtracks that are, our top 5 soundtracks you want to do as well. But just like, what genre of music do you ever like? What's your go-to when you're sitting at home just licking the screen of your computer doing your work?
I don't have one particular one. Like I can tell you right now, if I were to simply go into my music player, which I use iTunes. Suck it, everyone. I don't give a shit. I use iTunes. And I were to go to like my songs, I could tell you right now that my genres is all over the fucking place. I don't have just one or the other. I literally listen to everything back from like Tennessee Earl to new, more modern stuff that came out. I think the most modern song I have on here is San Quentin by Nickelback. It's the most modern song I have on here. Fuck off. I like Nickelback. I don't give a shit. Y'all can fuck off.
So many people like, fuck Nickelback. I don't mind Nickelback. Some of their songs are great. When we were deployed, we played Photograph I don't know how many times.
I'm not even gonna get into that song, but I've always liked Nickelback. But I'm telling, like, my genre is all over. So I literally am looking at my music right now. I have country, I have alternative, I have heavy metal, I have rap, heavy rap, soundtracks, pop, hard rock, rock and roll, traditional hip hop rap. Like, I'm everything but opera is on my playlist. So you name a genre, I have it on some degree or another. So I don't have like a go-to, but music to me is very much like what mood am I in, and depending upon what mood I'm in will greatly dictate like genre. So if I go work out and I'm trying to like actually work out and focus, which I haven't done in a while, I'm going to listen to something with like heavy beats, a good rhythm. I don't give a shit about like the lyrics, so it's gonna be a lot of like heavy metal or rock and roll, like heavy rock. Sorry, maybe pop, depending upon it, but it has to have like a steady and hard beat where I can lift properly to it. Something just to basically drown the noise. But if I'm feeling moody, I just want to get in touch with my inner self. Country. to go to, like classic '90s and '80s country, not this new shit.
So
This
you're
new
looking
country is shit.
Brooks and Dunn, Garth Brooks,
Yep, Alan Jackson.
Clint Black, Alan Jackson, Brady Travis.
Yep, I will go like Garth Brooks and Randy Travis are like probably two of my biggest country favorites. Yeah, Garth Brooks takes the cake. I was a bigger Garth Brooks fan than a George Strait fan. So whereas my mom loved and said she would cheat on my dad with George Strait, so heard that for several years growing up in a Catholic household.
I think with country, it always comes to whenever I'm outside doing yard work, like mowing the grass. I have country. When I'm at work and I'm doing audio testing, country because it's safe. Because I can play it loud and it's not going to offend a customer. I can't play rap and have testing about that going on because the customer is going to get offended when I'm doing audio testing. This is in a room, and it's also an office setting too, so I can't be in there blaring, NWA and everything else.
You know, play Hollywood
It's
Undead.
not, yeah, it's not going to work. So country is just kind of the go-to, and I'm the same way. The '90s country is what I'll listen to majority of the time. I do like some of the new stuff. Kane Brown, I like. I mean, I saw him live. I was down in Texas for Tatman's Tailgate and stuff like that. Saw him live. I like his music. I like Jason Aldean. There's a lot of them that I like and enjoy.
Now,
But that's
Jason
more of
Aldean's
the
it's like his late '90s, early 2000. That's good, but like everything after like 2006, or I'll give him 2 years. 2008. LA Country after 2008 is very like hit and miss, and the closer we get to where we are right now, the more it's just miss.
Do you
So
still
now
have
it's like,
CDs?
yeah, I have CDs.
Do you have the?
Yeah,
Yeah, you're like a little kid. Yeah, I still got them.
no, okay, so I say that because like it's like I have a closet full of like my military stuff, and
Mhm.
I have like 5 or 6 boxes, and one of them has these thick. I'm talking they're probably like 2.5, 3 inch thick binders, metal binders, and they're just CDs in there. And I remember when we moved into this house, my wife was helping me unpack some things or looking through some stuff, and she found them. She's like, "What the hell is this?" Oh, my CD collection. What? Who still has this? Listen, my Elantra has a CD player. Okay,
Mhm.
I will play my CD. I don't, but uh, I have all of them. I have like when I say I have a plethora of burned custom CDs, I mean I'm well over hundreds of burned CDs.
See, with burn CDs, we would do those for parties when we were younger. We would go into Napster, LimeWire. Fuck, what's some other ones?
Virus
Yes.
section number 2, virus section number 3. I
We
think
had
Napster
all
was the only one
those.
that was like legit.
Yeah, well, LimeWire was our biggest one after Napster got shut down. The whole because Metallica fucked that one up.
Well, yeah.
So we went
Then
to LimeWire
Frostwire when
and
LimeWire got
we
shut down.
had everything, and we did it because we in a small town we would go around in cars and enjoy ourselves on gravel roads because that's
He
where our
smokes
parties were.
weed.
And no, it wasn't smoking; it was drinking. But we would
Oh.
find cornfields or fields because a lot of us friends that we had were farmer families. So ours all of our parties were gravel road based.
Let us know you
And
grew up in the Midwest without saying you grew
bad
up in the
thing
Midwest.
was because the cops knew where we go because you would go down a gravel road and be lines of cars
Yeah.
in the middle of nowhere. Like, oh, there's no houses here. What's everybody doing?
The closest house
You
is
know
like
exactly what the fuck we're
1.5 2 miles
doing.
away.
Yeah. So it's like they knew exactly what it is. So we got busted every now and then. But yeah, we had our CDs and it was a big thing. And my name is on every one of my CDs to this day
Yep.
because people would steal your CDs. If you went to a house party, I brought my CDs and I would play music, but my CDs stayed by me the entire time and I never left. And ours was growing up, small town, of course,
I
white
don't think you
guys.
can. I don't think you can beat small town when you compare it to my small town.
And that's true. No, you had a very small town.
We had a village.
Ours was, yeah, yes, you did. Your small tribal village that you had. Ours was a lot of rap. We had, your typical Snoop, Tupac, Dre, Biggie, all that stuff was what we listened to a lot of times. And,
Anything by Death Row Records.
Yes, a lot of times that's what we had, and that's what we grew up with. And my parents,
Fucking white boys trying to be hard back then.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, my
Yeah,
parents
boy,
would
you
listen to
hear that?
country and everything
Drop
else.
that beat.
My dad hated rap growing up, but the funny thing is that's what he listens to now, and it's very, very weird. But it's like it's the stuff I listened to growing up, and I'm
It's
like,
classic
you
rap.
used to hate this shit. Like, what are you talking? Like, what are you doing? You used to hate it. He's like, no, I like it. It's good. I'm like, what the fuck?
You ever just go over, press pause or stop, be like, not in this house. You said this is not allowed. Boop. Alexa, turn this music off.
Yeah, apparently my dad's a gangbanger now, so I don't know. He's got thug life across his stomach and stuff. So it's whatever he's into, I guess. Good job, Dad. But
You gotta make the money
no,
somehow in that age.
so I mean, yeah, like growing up, rap is what we listen to a lot of times. Now, I've noticed that I don't listen to a lot of music anymore. I listen to more
Wow.
podcasts, and I always used to make fun of my dad because my dad listened to talk radio growing up. I'm like, how do you listen to this? It's just people talking. Now I fucking do it. Now I listen to podcasts and everything else. And it's not to educate myself, it's about dumb shit.
Well, hey,
Like, nothing.
don't bash dumb shit. Okay, that's kind of what we're doing.
I know it's exactly what we're doing. So I'm just like, yeah, it's exactly. But I mean, like, it's exactly what we talk about, the way we do our thing.
Hey,
That's what I listen to.
Hey, there was educational moments. I taught everybody about the Nintendo janitor. Okay,
Everybody's forgot
cards.
about that. Nobody cares.
I care. Everybody will remember it's this season. I had my moment. I peaked. Okay, let me have it.
But like, our big thing was, I loved soundtracks as well. One of my favorite soundtracks to this day is the Top Gun, the original Top Gun movie soundtrack. That one's great. I love it.
That's a
I
solid
will
one.
play it for my kids, and they're like, what is this? I'm like, just listen to the music.
You will go sit down on the fucking couch and you will go educate yourself, son. Right now.
We're going into the danger zone right now, so get ready. And I'll just fucking crank it.
You know what's funny is like, I will. Granted, it's also Archer, but I will fucking quote Danger Zone so fucking much to my kids to the point like, granted they're 5 and 3, I just get the stupid look like, what the fuck is that? And I will crack myself up, and my wife's like, you're stupid. I was like, no, we're flying to the danger zone. We gotta be careful.
Yes.
Or if I'm like, we're at the zoo or whatever, and I'm just feeling like really stupid, and the monkeys, and this has happened, this is where the story comes from, is the monkeys were like banging on the wall and everything. I was like, uh-oh, danger zone. And she's like, what is wrong with you so much?
You
So
want
much
ants? That's how you get ants.
You're not my you're not my supervisor. But no, like, I like that's a good soundtrack. Now,
Yes.
I mean, my favorite. Oh man, if we did favorite soundtrack, like to this date, I don't think you're gonna find a better soundtrack. At least for me, than The Greatest Showman. That has just great soundtrack all over it, and Hugh Jackman actually sings it. So I mean, you can't hate on Hugh Jackman.
Just keep reinforcing the baby girl from the top of the episode. That-
No, it's a good soundtrack. But no, I'm trying to think. It's like the soundtracks again, very conservative Catholic household. Growing up, the only one I can like actively remember, that's probably why I'm such a Disney fanatic now, was like so many Disney ones like Hercules, Aladdin, Lion King. I remember stealing. Oh, I remember stealing the Top Gun one from my oldest brother. Got my ass beat for that one. But like non-Disney base, you're gonna give me so much shit. I'm okay with it.
More?
Soundtrack, not artist, because like I listen to Elvis Presley and he has a Blue Hawaii, which is also his movie. So if we're gonna say soundtrack and that counts, okay, Elvis Presley. But I'm gonna just exclude that. Uh, anyways, you're giving me a lot of shit, but Grease was one of them. Like I played fucking forever. Went as Danny.
I love Grease. I have nothing wrong with that. I agree with you.
Went as Danny
Every
for
song,
several Halloween.
every song can be. You can sing every damn song on there. You're gonna know every song on there.
Yeah.
It's a great one, and I still actually watch that movie whenever it's on. So I mean, yeah, it's a great soundtrack. No, not yet, not yet. It's coming up, I'm sure, but it's a great soundtrack as well. No, I'm not gonna knock you on that one. Guardians of the Galaxy is a great one too.
So, I'm gonna get shit. So, Guardian of the Galaxy, half the soundtrack's good. I will say that the whole soundtrack is not great.
I'm gonna go the first CD because it's a dual CD.
Yeah, the first CD.
Once you get to disc 2, which a lot of dual discs back in the day, or there's a lot of people here, dual disc. A lot of the shitty songs are on the second disc.
Well, same with like your cassette tapes. Your front, your side A,
your B side.
Your A side was like your bangers or your top hits, and the B side was there's like one good song somewhere in that list, and you had to listen to the whole fucking thing, or press fast forward, and you're just like, okay,
that's right. When it's done.
Oh, that sounded like the beat. Rerun. Oh, too far. Fuck.
Yeah, thank God that's over with.
Oh,
but I mean, now it's.
I do have custom sets in my deck. I
have a couple.
Where, like you press play and record at the same time to record off the radio.
I have that still. I've got the old school dual speaker with the the rotating CD player on top and the dual cassette on bottom. Oh yeah, I still have that. Too.
They have that.
Yep, it's still here.
I have that. I don't have the cable anymore. I need to get a cable.
I do want to get an old school B box. Just the old school radios.
Oh, why? Sorry.
I know they have the bump box now, which is fucking cool looking, but it's all digitized. But
yeah,
I think our big one was like, okay, we had soundtracks, which is a big one. Disney does have some good ones. Aladdin is a good one. Lion King is a great one.
The classic Disneys are awesome. I don't think there's a really true bad one inside the mix, because that was like Disney's peak of animation before they bought Pixar. But I mean, Aladdin, Hercules, Lion King, amazing. Little Mermaid, Fight Me, good one.
I mean, I'll go more recent. Trolls. Trolls soundtrack
that's Dream's work, but yes.
Well, whatever.
World Tour specifically. Trolls World Tour has amazing fun songs on it.
Oh, the first one was great because Justin Timberlake was on it.
He's on both of them.
Well, he's on the first one too.
The World Tour.
Isn't all three? Isn't he all three of them?
Yeah, he plays Branch.
Mm-hmm.
And Anna Kendrick plays.
Which is also good. Yeah. But I mean, those are.
The second one's my favorite out of the two because my daughter absolutely loves it, and she loves the rock and roll troll. And I'm so glad that she likes rock and roll, because that's why I hear almost every time we go. I drop her off at school. Dad, play rock and roll, rock and roll. I was like, yes. I love this. Let's do this.
Now, when it comes to rock, and I'm not going to go into the plethora of genres of rock with death metal, heavy metal, whatever other metal there is.
There's like, I would say there's rock and roll, which is your very old school, like Elvis Presley type rock, which is rock and roll, your classics. You have rock, and you have your heavy metal rock. Like, those are my three definitive. These are three different, completely sounding.
So where do you throw genres. I'll throw like in Midwest, like Slipknot. Do you put that in heavy metal?
Yeah,
or do you put that in?
I would put that more in heavy metal.
And I'm not. No, we're not experts in this by any means, so I have no idea where it falls in. I mean, it could be mass charade rock for as far as I know. I don't fucking. And I know like 80s hair bands are ones that I will listen to majority of the time.
I would say that's hair band, but also rock.
Yes,
there's a lot of rock in the 80s. It is. Was hair band.
Like, Motley Crue, Metallica. I mean, they're all Twisted Sister. We're all hair bands.
Slipknot's considered metal music. Like that's their.
Okay. Yeah, and it's like again the amount of different genres that they have that have now
It's ridiculous.
been created is hard to even understand. But like Slipknot, I listen to Slipknot every now and then. I don't mind it at all. As I have to be in the mood for it, and to be working out or doing something to where I absolutely just hate my life, and I want to just beat my head up. But I do like their music, so I'm not knocking it by any means.
I like
But
Slipknot.
I will listen to. I'm not a huge Metallica fan. Brother-in-law loves Guns N' Roses. Like
Guns N'
he's a
Roses solid.
hardcore. He just went to Mexico to see a Guns N' Roses show. Like that's
That's
how
sad.
hardcore he is. He took him
They're
and his family
passive.
down there.
No, they're past their prime.
So I mean, it's not his first time seeing him. Like he's been to multiple shows. I think he went to Colorado last year 40 to see him as well. But
Anything after like 99, they're past their primes now.
I've never gone out of my way to see a band. There are a couple of bands that I want to see before they end, like Korn. I want to see. That's one of my favorites. Seven Dust is another one of my favorites.
Like I
Like
listen to
those
all these,
two.
but it's they're
Yeah.
not some like the only when I think like bands or artists I would like to see.
Mhm.
Some I'll never get to see. Like again, I'm a huge fucking Elvis Presley fan. Clearly, we'll never get to see him live. You know, he's
Vegas.
kind of not alive.
Oh, there's plenty of performers.
No, I don't want the fake. I want the authentic.
You can see him and Prince and Michael Jackson all in one show.
But like Michael Jackson, I just recently, when I say recently, I mean within the last like 12, 13 years, I just got into Michael Jackson. Again, very conservative Catholic household and all the stuff that was going on with that. But Garth Brooks would be the only one actively I would be like, oh, I have to go see. But he's on tour, not on tour. On tour, he's retired. Not retired, retired. So he's.
Oh yeah, supposedly he's doing his last one now. Now, I think
He said like 4 years ago, so whatever.
True. I didn't, and he had his whole alter ego thing that he did for a little while too, which was fucking weird. I remember that one. Emo style. Because he tried to do it was weird.
Oh,
I think the only country artist I've seen
several.
has been Kenny Chesney.
He's a good one.
I saw him because I like Kenny Chesney. I think he's the only one I've seen.
The band
live.
Perry, Lady A, Tracy Lawrence, main singer from Hootie and the Blowfish. Oh, I can't think of his name.
That's Hootie.
Yeah, I'm thinking of his real name though, because that's.
I can't. I know you're. I can't. I saw. Well, think of that. I did see Aaron Lewis live.
Yep, seen him.
I've seen him live. He was good. Yes, that's right. Yes. I did see Aaron Lewis live.
I've seen a lot of like country singers live because KFDI, the radio station down in Wichita, they do KFDI listener appreciation during like end of school year time frame, like late spring, early spring, or mid spring, whatever. And it's free. It's just a first come, first serve. So we used to go down there a lot until they stopped booking artists that I have no idea who they are.
Yeah.
Like I've Craig Morgan, I've seen him. But yeah, there was one like I think Kane Brown was supposed to be one a year or two ago, and I was just like, I don't give a shit.
He's no, I did see him. He is good live. He's entertaining and his music is pretty damn good. I like it. I enjoy it. It's not your typical. It's more of your is it your? I don't think it's outlaw country like Brantley Gilbert, what Jason Aldean is now too. So I think it's more outlaw country. But I don't know exactly. People. So yeah, like Brantley Gilbert was a few of his songs that are decent. Kane Brown and Jason Aldean, those guys. But like,
Brantley,
I saw Aldean live too. Shit.
Brantley, one of his songs. I'm gonna find it.
He's only got a handful of songs, in my opinion. I think that are good. Like one I would love to see, and I think
I was thinking of Thomas Square.
Oh,
I didn't get to see that, but
I think one that's he's probably past. I guarantee he's past his prime at this point. Would be Kid Rock, but trying to see him live now would be way difficult because he's now in his bluegrass country style.
That, and you kind of get, unfortunately, you get associated really bad, and they have a lot of protesters out at his concerts.
Oh yeah,
So
that's true.
Not that you are anybody. Just remember that.
Yeah.
Nobody.
But he would have been one I would like to see back in his prime. But I did get to see back when they did the Up in Smoke tour. I saw 50 Cent. I saw Snoop Dogg, Dre, all those guys. I got to go to that concert, and again, I was very young. I think it was around. I think it was 16 or 17. Yeah, I mean, I was high when I left, and I wasn't smoking. It was just there.
Snoop Dogg came on stage, and you're like, what?
Oh, as soon as he got there, he's like, yo, if you want me to hit this blunt, I'm like, he's gonna smoke it on stage? You can't do that. That's illegal, sir. What are you doing?
No.
Like, no, you can't do that. The dog, he got high as shit on the stage. And then 50 walks out with his fucking black jacket on, everything else. Like, oh, okay, cool. This is gonna happen.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, it was just back then, like, you had all those damn concerts you could go to and afford them. And yeah, it's definitely different now, concert wise, because I went to a rap concert, I'll say, and I saw E40.
No idea who that is.
E40 he's old, put it that way. He's one of the originals, but he is very well versed in what he does. And damn, I felt old because it was a G-Eazy concert, which you probably don't know who he is either.
Yeah, no, I know who he is.
He's the one of the newer ones that came out, but E40 was opening for him. And I'm like, holy shit. Only time I'll be able to see E40, and I saw G-Eazy too, but like seeing E40, like that's what I wanted to see. And I'm like, fuck. I'm surrounded by a bunch of I was a little bit older than the audience at this point. But man, I was just not that much older. I was only maybe 5 to 7, 10 years, maybe, but I don't know.
Closing into a decade's way.
It was,
which is difference between I don't know, a high schooler and what, 4th grader.
Shut your mouth. But E40 can still do his thing with what he was doing on stage. It was awesome show, very small.
Who's barely 11.
That's true. Yes. I think the outside of that one, the weirdest concert I think I went to was the Pentatonics. I'm not a fan of Pentatonics, but we went with the kids and like that. And
like that's kind of a weird one to go to.
It is, but I'm not a fan. But they were. Girlfriend and the kids are fans of them, so we went, and they actually came to the state fair up here. So we went there to that one, and it was all right. It was definitely different because I mean they're a cappella.
Yeah.
So I mean you have no like band, nothing. It's just them with microphones and
their mouths.
Definitely very good in what they do, but I can't listen to them. I'm not a fan of them.
It depends, but there's definitely like a few songs where like, okay, this is fine. But that's the thing is with like acapella and that style is there's just certain songs that require instruments, and when you don't have actual instruments, it literally just sounds like somebody singing in a church room, and it sounds off. Not anything against it, just the instruments help so much, and especially like certain genres of song, music, you need that instrumental aspect of it, or else it sounds weird.
Yeah, there's not many that can do it, but they do it very well. I know, and I listened to a lot of R&B growing up too. So when you hear R&B a cappella, it's obviously way different than that style of a cappella. But people that can actually sing their ass off, as in like Silk or people from Jagged Edge, like that, who can legitimately sing their ass off, is something that I'm always in awe of, and I've never understood how anybody can do it because it's just like mind blowing to me.
But see, again, that's why like I'm like, I'm not a big fan of this new country shit. Is because when you think about, or at least my understanding, is even like the 80s and 90s country, late 90s up to it, is there wasn't a lot of let me fuck with the vocals, what you typically heard on the radio or what you heard on the CD or the tape cassette. It's typically what the artist would sound like at a concert. Whereas a lot of the artists, is, even outside country, you hear what they sound like on CD or radio, whatever. It's very heavily um, altered. So when you go hear the concert and they're singing, and they have that background overlay track of their actual CD playing or whatever, and you can just hear them sing a little bit. One, if I want to fucking listen to your song and you barely sing, I'll just stay at home. Big reason why I can't go to a concert. But then two, most of them don't sound anything like their actual vocals on the CDs or the radio, whatever you use to listen to. And that to me bugs me, because you had people from generations past who could truly sing. And that was what was so amazing about listening to any of it. And even if you want to go outside of the country, talk about Eminem and the way he raps, is he sounds the same versus, say, 6ix9ine doesn't sound the same. He sounds very, very, very heavily auto-tuned or altered on his radios, CDs, whatever. Sorry, I should stop saying CDs because they're not around. Radio or online stream services. He sounds
There's
very
some
heavily.
CDs.
I know.
They still make CDs.
They're more for like,
Nostalgia.
hey, look at this. I have a wall of decoration. Now I'm gonna pop the CD in my CD player. But however you listen to music, he sounds totally different. And there's a lot of artists that are that same way as well. Where like you want to go, Megan Trainor, she sounds slightly different, but she also can actually sing. So she just sounds slightly different, not a massive noticeable. But then like Imagine Dragons sounds, at least in my opinion, from, again, I haven't been to a concert in a long time, so I do a lot of YouTube. They don't sound the same. Then you have what?
We'll take Kurt Cobain when he did his unplugged. Remember when MTV would do their unplugged shows?
Yeah.
Kurt Cobain would sound way different from the CD back then to his unplugged versions. And unplugs always sound a lot different because that's their version of acapella of just an acoustic guitar and a microphone.
Yeah.
And their drum background too, but they're unplugged. There's no electric guitar and stuff.
Though. Like I get like ranges have to change. You have to change octaves. You have to change pitch and everything depending upon how the instrumental part of the house comes into play. And again, correct us if we're wrong. I'm sure I'm using the wrong verbiage, which I get. But when I'm saying, like, basically, if I'm going to go listen to, bear with me, if I'm going to go listen to Jonas Brothers, and I've shut up, I heard them on the radio, I heard them on iTunes, and they don't sound anything like that on stage, but instead all I'm hearing is their overlay background track, and them coming on and be like, I'm a sucker for you. Be like, okay, really? Why do you sound different? You should sound at least somewhat in the same range, the same octave. Like, no, it's drastically different, and I only chose them because I'm literally looking at my list to see how many songs I have, and I got to my kids section. So shut up. But well, you have everything.
Oh shit!
Whereas I'm gonna play the acoustic version of one of my songs. Okay, you gotta change everything. Cool, I get it. So I understand that. But yes, the unplugged version definitely was like a side A, and here is side B of a 15 cassette tape that's all the way at the end.
But there were people that would buy the live version of the CD too, to where you hear the crowd and everything, and you could
Garth Brooks was that way.
You could hear the music, but not as well. But like, I never bought a live soundtrack or CD. I never understood the purpose of it. It's like, I don't want to hear a bunch of drunk idiots yelling and cheering along with what's going on. Yes, you do get some extended versions of thunder rolls and things like that happen
Friends in low
at
places.
the live. Yeah, I mean, you get all that stuff, but I don't want to hear the audience. I don't care about the cheering and everything else. I want the music.
No, I mean, I agree. There again, I only mention Garth Brooks because he is probably, when I think like live CDs, he's the first one that comes to mind because of those two specific songs of Friends in Low Places and Thunder Rolls, where the audience can be heard, and it's a whole different version of it. And it's not terrible, it's not bad, it's still a good sound. And then you get, Friends in Low Places goes from 3.5 minutes long to fucking 10 minutes long, and you're like, good god damn, Garth, fucking stop. I was done seeing the chorus the 5th time around 7 minutes ago. Why are we still doing this? But I still like some of them, but it tends to be a lot of the older stuff. Like, again, I have a lot of live stuff from Elvis Presley and Johnny Cash and Tennessee Earl, where I was like, okay, the live stuff's not very, hooping and hollering from the audience, because it was still very much you respect the artist when he's on stage, and you listen, and you can like make clamoring noise, whatever, but they're not gonna be hooping and hollering and yelling and singing along too loud. Like, it's very, you still hear the music, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and I know we talked about some of the dual CD albums that came out. One of my favorites that there was Smashing Pumpkins Bullet with Butterfly Wings.
Yeah.
It was a dual CD set, and both of those were very well done. Great songs on both.
Yeah.
And there wasn't very many where you ever get a dual disc, and they both had good songs on both of them. I still have it. Luckily, I never lost it.
Until you go look for it now, and you're like, shit.
I probably. I know I had it. One's purple, one's blue. Somewhere. I know I have it. So I mean, there's very few of those. I think they're pink and blue. I think so. By the way, but like, there's not very many dual disc sets that come out like that, or dual cassettes.
Yeah.
That are very well done. But
my custom made ones were.
Those are different. Those are different. Very, very different.
Nothing but bangers on there.
But do you also remember being able to call in? I know they still have it. I guess you can do it, but being able to call in and request a song on the radio.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I guess they still do it. It's not something old, but like,
it's
that was a thing. Like, that was our thing. Like, we had to, because that was the only way we could hear a song, is if we requested it. Now you can stream it whenever you want. You can find a way to listen to any song you want now.
Except Garth
But back then, if you didn't have the CD, the tape, or whatever, you had to listen to the radio, and you had the cassette set up or the CD set up ready to record. If you wanted to keep it
play and record.
Yep. You had to hit it right there, and you'd either catch like the DJ talking right there before it started, or you 1 or 2 seconds after it started, like, oh shit, got it.
Yeah.
And that's how a lot of our tapes were, because I never did with a CD, but a lot of our tapes were that way, of trying to record songs that way.
Oh yeah.
And then the other way. But trying to request a song, and we used to mess with a lot of ours, like, we call rock stations and request like Boyz II Men and get hung up on. It's like, yeah, I want to hear Boyz II Men, fuck you, and hang up on us. Like, no, okay, guess that's not happening. So, but that was our entertainment, like the shit like that, because you couldn't hear the song whenever you wanted. Yes, very true. So I mean, if you couldn't hear the songs you wanted, didn't have them, you had to listen to the radio, and they were obviously edited as well, but you had no option. That's what it was.
Yeah, I mean, definitely was. I also remember, like, and yes, you can still win tickets, you can still win concerts and all this, but I'm telling y'all, it was a different beast back then, because it wasn't like you were competing against maybe a couple hundred, like you are now, maybe a couple thousand. Back then, you were competing against thousands upon thousands upon thousands. Everybody in the fucking radio area would be fucking competing. I remember I was in middle school. Keith Urban just like broke out. I guess I wasn't quite in middle school, but middle school. Keith Urban just broke out, and like he finally had a concert coming to Kansas. My mom was really wanting to see him and everything, and it was school day, like school morning. I remember my mom calling into KFDI, calling, and then she had to go get ready. And she's like, boys, talking to my younger brother and I, keep pressing redial, keep redialing, because she just wanted these tickets. And I will never forget, she got on, and they finally connected her. She was the 20th caller or whatever, and they're like, all right, in order to win these tickets, you need to know this song. And it was one of Keith Urban's songs. And again, my mom, who was, I like Keith Urban. Yay, I know his shit. Anyways, they played the song, and my mom is like, oh, okay. Oh, I know that song. And I literally was like, oh, yeah, that's this song by Keith Urban. She goes, you sure? Yeah. Like, I just heard it an hour ago when you woke us up. I remember the song. And she's like, okay, if you're wrong, I'm going to be a little upset. Is it, I think it's Where the Blacktop Ends by Keith Urban? And they're like, that's right, you now won 2 tickets for a concert, front stage, blah, blah, blah. I didn't get a fucking go, by the way. I'm not salty. I'm just saying, I fucking won tickets, and I didn't get to attend. I don't care if the concert was at 10 o'clock at night and it's past my bedtime. I didn't get to attend.
Now, when you went to concerts or go to concerts, do you need to sit up front or get up front? Do you care about all that?
I like to be at least mid-range. I don't want to be up front because I don't want to be right next to the speakers.
Mm-hmm.
But I also don't want to be so far in the nosebleed that I can't see. It's like we were talking about, even like WWE events. I don't want to be so far back where I can't see the action, I can't see the concert, I can't see the stage. I want to be able to see somewhat. So I'm kind of picky, but at the same time, if you're telling me I can go see, we'll just say Eminem, and it's only going to cost me $20, but I'm going to be the nosebleed, I'm going to be able to say I saw Eminem.
Yeah. See, I don't care about
Jumbotrons, but
yeah. I mean,
I don't. They're going.
I can care less. I can care less about actually seeing them. I go for the music, I guess, just to listen to that and hang out. I never really, I mean, with going to like wrestling events, things like that, yes, I want to be able to see that because that's what I'm going to watch. In my head, I'm going to a concert, I'm going to listen, and I don't really care what they're doing. I know some of them are like very theatrical and they have stuff going on the stage, but I guess I go forward for the songs.
If you're fucking paying for a ticket, I want to see what's going on. I don't want to be a nosebleed and be like, oh, well, that was a cool concert. I just heard the exact songs that I have on iTunes. Cool, yeah. I paid $40 to listen to my iTunes. I already paid $20 a month for.
I mean, either way, it's still what you're doing. But I mean, it's no different than watching what you can watch at home with wrestling and everything else. Too, you're actually there.
But I mean, I am kind of picky. But again, I think it also depends on like Eric Church. I think for like someone like him, you need to be up front because he's very theatric about his stuff. He's very particular. It's only him. He's a one-man show. Blah blah. But I think for most part, mid-range. I want to be able to at least see the stage. And I went to a concert, not a glorified jamboree.
Yeah. So that's kind of where I guess I could care less about a concert. I just go to listen to music.
I mean, to be fair, I don't go to concerts. I haven't been to one in years, but
I haven't been in a long time either.
But with that said, how do you listen to your music primarily? Are you streaming it?
I stream it. Depending. So if I'm on a long road trip, I play CDs because there's a certain amount of CDs that I know what I want, and I don't want to sit there and do this, search for it. I can go to each CD and pick the song I want. No, like this number 7, 12, 13. Or there's a few albums that I can play, like Master P Ghetto D. I can play that whole album and be fine with it. I go from 1 to 21 and be fine. And that kills an hour and a half right there of just that whole album. Like, that's great. I can do that. But I enjoy that because I don't get that all the time and I forget about songs. And I'll see a CD. I'm like, oh shit, forgot about that one. I'll put that in. Listen to 1 or 2 songs off that CD because that's all it had. And then I'll go back to it. And then that may spark something else in my head where I will stream one of the other songs with a CD I don't have and go through, a few of their songs and then pick something else. But most of the time when I'm just driving to and from work, if it's not a podcast, I'll stream it on either Amazon or iTunes. But again, my music has shrunk a lot to where I only listen to very obscure music now, like Lincoln's Box Seats. I listen to them a lot, and Charlie Classic, which is like another very obscure. He's not a singer, rapper, or anything. It's just
No,
his
he's
shit is
not.
like so funny and comical, but it's just funny and like. But I will listen to like the new Mount Westmore, which is like Ice Cube and Snoop and
Yeah.
E40 and those guys that just came out with that. But like Tech Nine is always another one I'll go to. But I'll stream a lot of that stuff on iTunes or Amazon, Spotify, just depending on whatever I have or think about turning on.
We're two totally different people because like one, I have fucking copious amounts of playlists on my iTunes. Like
I haven't done the time to do a playlist.
oh, I make them randomly throughout like the year. Where like I have one just for my kids, Disney hits, and every time they want a song, something gets big, whatever, find it on my iTunes, add to playlist, done. And then when they want to listen to music, there we go. But like I have one called Gaming, which I started 3 years ago, and it has over 26 hours of music on it. So it's one of those like if I'm going down to Florida, play.
Yeah,
like all the songs, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Oh, I still have 4 hours left on the playlist, but yeah, I'm at Florida now. Yay! But it's just one of those like I would rather listen to playlists because again, one, I don't have my CDs in my car anymore because I don't have the CD holder up top or in the glove compartment, so I'm not having to like fumble around. I can literally just do everything off my watch and my phone. But there's also just something about being able to go, oh, I'm done listening to this song. Click, click, click. Oh, I want to go to my podcast. Switch over to podcast done. Oh, my kids want to watch a movie. iTunes. There we go. It's just all in like one section.
yeah. No, I mean that's definitely
But
it's a lot easier that way. But I enjoy going back through the old shit of like I forgot about this song. I forgot about this. The CD. Oh yeah.
I need to go through my CDs and go through like my custom
And that's what I'll
burned
do
CDs
also.
because there's a lot of them because of course they're just a silver disc and you have to write on them
Yep.
and do you write every song or you just write like the big ones and
Yep.
I remember there's several of them like I'm a fucking artist, I'm gonna doodle on this shit, and now I'm looking back going I didn't really
What
get
was
better.
that?
I didn't really get better. And yeah, I run a graphic design business online where I was like, don't worry, I can draw with computers, I cannot draw by hand though. No. My dog draws
No,
better.
and I'll do that, but like listen to that stuff is enjoyable, and you'll find like the burn CDs of like random shit that like oh wow I forgot
Oh,
about this song.
oh, oh, I know it's gonna be random. It's
Hell,
like I can tell you like here I will tell you the last 5 played songs that I listened to in no particular order. Okay, no particular order. There's kind of an order because I'm reading them in a list, but no particular order. You have Face Down, but not by Red Jumpsuit Apparatus, by Secret Tree Fort, which is a alternative version of it. It's very like country. It's acoustic.
Mhm.
And then She Keeps Me Up by Nickelback. It's from an old album, No Fixed Address, back from 2015 or 2014. Sorry. Um, Ashes from Deadpool 2 by Celine Dion.
Imagine that.
Bound to happen. You knew it. And then Turn Me On, Mr. Deadman by Union Underground, which would not be acceptable nowadays.
A lot of
And
songs
then-
wouldn't.
Yep, that's true. And the last one, San Quentin by Nickelback again. Like those are my last 5 played songs. They either all have, well, 4 of them have amazing beats and melody to them, and then Ashes from Deadpool 2 by Celine Dion. That's just one of those where it's like, I like Deadpool. I like this song. It's good. And then I'm in the car just belting out. My daughter's back there going, "Turn it down, turn it down." But I will say, "Turn Me On, Mr. Deadman." Oh my
Hmm.
god, I've played that so many times. Again, not very child friendly. I'll go fuck. I played that around my daughter, and she has started picking up on the lyrics. So she'll be that back there again. It to her this is rock because this has a rock melody.
Yeah.
It's technically speaking it is rock, but it's one of those like she sits back there, she tosses up the rock sign, and she's just head banging. She loves it. And when it gets to the chorus of turn me on, Mr. Deadman," she's back there and she's singing it and she's belting it out and she's just loving it. And same with like a lot of the other rock or hard rock songs I listen to. She loves it and it's hilarious. So I like this week alone, and by this week I mean Sunday, January 1st to January 3rd. I've already listened to Turn Me On, Mr. Deadman. Let's see, 27 times.
Good.
Because again, I listen to music though all the damn time.
Hmm.
So like if I'm working on our podcast, if I'm working on graphics, working on my streams, whatever, I have music going on all the time. I'm also the weird one where I can have music going on, TV show going on, and then playing a video game and still like interacting with people. Works of ADHD, split personality, brainwave. But I can tell you what song we're singing, what movie we're like. I can focus. My wife just called me out on this the other day, where she's like, "Are you really listening to music, playing Pokemon, and watching TV and TikTok?
I get caught on that too.
What's
I
happening
get
on
talked to it a
TV?
lot.
XYZ. Oh, okay.
See, but
What's happening on TikTok? XYZ.
I'll have a TV on in the kitchen and in the living room, and then I'll be on my phone looking at something, or I'll have something going on. But like I can't play music and have volume on the TV at the same time. That drives me nuts. Like if I have something on, I have to have like either volume up on one or volume. That's one thing I can't do. I can't have multiple volumes. Like
No,
that drives me nuts. I
it's a
can't do
neural
that.
thing. It's
Nope,
a
I
neural
can't do
thing.
it.
Yeah, I love it, and it bugs my wife absolutely bonkers. It's like she doesn't even hear my music. Okay, but she did. She would drive her up the wall. But I mean, I don't think you know how to find your last five played songs. Do you? I don't know how to explain it to you without
Oh, not on
making
mine
it
because I don't
ridiculous.
have. I could tell you more likely what it was. It was either something Charlie Classic or something by Lincoln Box Seats. I guarantee it was probably the last five songs in like "Bitch I Operate," something like that, or something along the lines of whatever Charlie Classic has. Yeah, it'd be something like that because like I said, I listen to random shit and just enjoy it. But I also have Tech Nine and just old school shit. I don't listen to a lot of
Yeah.
new stuff too much, but yeah.
Uh, I mean, I'm going through like my years on here, like when they got released, and the early, like the newest one I have is Face Down by Secret Tree Fort, which is a cover, and that came out in 2021.
Okay.
And then before that, I have San Quentin technically came out in 2022. Forgot about that. Um, but then Bang by AJR OK Orchestra came out in 2020. Like I don't listen to a lot of new stuff unless it has a really good beat or my wife listens to it and I'm like, hey, what's that? Where'd you get that?
What you got there?
Yeah, yeah. But other than that, it's very much like a Nickelback. I just
Yeah.
get alerted when a new Nickelback song comes out. I was like, okay, like listen. I was like, oh, this is a good song.
Yeah.
I mean, I just find it funny. Only got to touch base on this. I find it funny that so many people are starting to quote discover Nickelback for the first time, and they're like, "Oh my god, they're so good." Shut the fuck up. Sit your ass down until you went to the fade or the era of everybody just bash on Nickelback because of the song "Photographed" and the comics response to it, saying it's been overplayed and shoved down our throat back then. Don't know anything.
Well, that's like when people are like, "Oh, I bet this old man must be so happy that Post Malone did a song with him." They're talking
Yeah.
about fucking Ozzy Osbourne. Like, okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Let's back this crazy train up because
I'm about to
you're talking
unleash
about a
it.
fucking icon right now
Yeah.
who you think Post Malone just helped out. Like, no.
Yeah.
And
I
that
saw
dude
that
is
one.
still putting out music and sounds the exact same.
Yeah.
Like his latest album that he put out. Granted, he's sitting in a chair, and Todd
Okay, Johnny
McFarlane, who
Cash
does,
sat down a lot too. So
yeah, well, he was dying as well. But Ozzy Osbourne's never gonna die because he's
all that
hollowed
bad
out.
blood.
But the last even music video they did that Todd McFarlane, who does Spawn,
Yeah.
did the music video for, and it's awesome, and the song is great too. But like, and he did one for the not this last pay per view, but the last WWE pay per view, one of them.
Yeah,
He
I
did the
know what
song
you're
for as
talking
well,
about.
or not song for, but he did his song associated with it. And the dude sounds great, but like oh, this guy must be so great, so thankful that Post Malone did a song with him. Like, no, you reverse that shit because no,
Yeah.
Ozzy is an icon.
There's been several like that. It's like this current star did it. It's like, oh, they must be so. It's like, you shut the fuck up, okay?
Yeah, you have
Yeah.
no idea what you're talking about.
Like, who was it? God damn it. I want to say it was Journey after they replaced the lead singer a while back or a long time ago. But somebody did they sang with them and like, oh my god, this band must feel so ecstatic to just finally get on the air. It's like, you understand, one, you shut the fuck up. This is Journey, okay?
Yeah,
This is not this artist's song. Don't stop believing it's Journey's original song. So pissed off, you stupid fucking asshole. Like, just to the point where it's like, you guys are all offending me, and I'm only 32, and it pisses me off to hear everybody, oh, Post Malone must have been doing this person. No.
no.
Post would not be here if Ozzy was not here. Don't you fucking do that shit to him. Disrespect.
Yeah,
But with that said, though, we'll try to like wrap it up or whatever. We'll finish on this high note or controversial note, I guess. Cover songs. Do you typically prefer cover songs?
it
And
depends
by
on.
that, let me rephrase that because a lot of people are gonna be like, "Well, cover songs are just yeah." I know the big name songs being covered by somebody else because typically, like most of Elvis Presley's work is technically cover songs. He stole it or got it from somewhere else. Same with a lot of music nowadays. It's covers.
Well, that's a lot also with between R&B and country.
Yep.
A lot of those are torn back and forth.
Same truck, stupid woman cheating. It's all the same shit.
Whitney Houston, Dolly Parton. I will always love you.
Which
Dolly Parton sang it first. Wrote it.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Originally, and then when I found out, I told my wife, and she's like, "No," and I found it, and she's like,
Granted, Whitney Houston killed it with that song. I mean, the women could wail, but cover songs, some I like, some I hate. I mean, you're gonna hit or miss. Like one of my favorites is when Korn redid "This Is Halloween" from Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah, dude, that one.
Awesome. They did "The Wall" from Pink Floyd. Also, they did great on that one. And I know I guarantee there's other ones that I can't stand, but off the top of my head, I can't think of any right now. But I know there's some I don't like.
They were goofing around though with Nightmare Before Christmas. That was never supposed to be like fully released. That was them just going, let's try. I loved it. With us, and then they released it. Yeah,
but again, it could just be because I love Korn. But
no, because I like Korn. I'm not a big fan of their stuff, even though I have like 4 or 5 albums. But again, not someone I'm like, I'm gonna go listen to.
Yeah.
But Nightmare Before Christmas is also my movie. So
the zombie, I used to call it a cover or a remake or however you want to do it. Like I
think they're just considered covers now.
It's kind of, because it would be, was it the Cranberries? The original zombie.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
But yeah, the original of that one, and then the remake of that one wasn't bad either. I prefer the original one over it, but I don't know. There's a lot of covers are decent, but when you're going to concerts, you do hear some other covers there and how they do them. Very well done.
Well, yeah,
Alien Ant Farm, when they did Smooth Criminal, that was great.
That's in my opinion, I like that better than MJ's. I sure
I think a
some
lot of
are
people
piss
did,
off, but
and it was very
yeah,
well
it
done.
was. But when you're talking about like going to concerts,
Mhm.
honestly, no one really sticks out more than Simple Plan because they've been playing the Scooby Doo theme song at their concert for years, and they also do. Is it SpongeBob?
Oh my
They do.
gosh,
What's the other one? They do another iconic, like everyone knows who this is
Mhm.
type song, and they never got approval to make the official version release of it. And I mean, they just released "What's New Scooby Doo" back in 2021 after doing the song on their tours for years, and now they're
simple.
official. They're the official
They still
band
make
of.
music,
Yeah,
really?
yeah. I mean, technically, "What New Scooby Doo" is like their latest release, I believe.
Simple Plan, interesting.
Don't judge me, you fucking asshole.
No, like they're out. Good Charlotte and Sum 41 and all those guys too. So
My
yeah,
music taste doesn't change, okay? It has been
I never
stagnant
said it
since
did. There's
90s.
nothing wrong with it. I don't blame you. That's when I think we sound extremely old right now, like our parents did. That was back when music was good. Back when
Oh,
the heart and soul was into it.
they just they just released an album in 2022.
Simple Plan did.
Yep.
What are
Harder
they
than
like?
it looks.
My gosh,
Look, I don't like to look
they
at
must
how
be
old
old.
people are. I don't like looking. They don't look super old, but
I
I
know.
bet you they're. They formed in 1999.
Oh my gosh. Over 20 years ago.
Over 24
Ah,
years if it makes you feel better.
shut up. Damn.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
no, yeah. Again, my type of genre or my type of era, I guess, because Good Charlotte, All Time Low, Sum 41, Yellow Card, Bowling for Soup, Newfound Glory, All American
Super.
Rejects, Blink 182 is still like I have so many other songs.
They're good.
Um,
Yes.
but no, I mean back to what we were talking about, like cover songs though. It does heavily depend upon like who the band is that's doing the cover. But some
Yeah.
of the better versions of the songs come from fucking out of nowhere. So, like for me, the most recent one, like I said earlier, is "Face Down" by Secret Tree Fort. It came out in 2021. I know I love the band, but it's if you're not really big into like the rock style of "Face Down" by Red Jumpsuit Apparatus, and you just want to enjoy the music, definitely "Face Down" by Secret Tree Fort. Amazing cover, love it. Listen to that one a fucking lot too. Let me be. Uh, who was the other one? They. I might have to search my album now because there's a gentleman. Oh, Overseen does a cover of Garth Brooks' Thunder Rolls, and it's a little bit more on the heavier side, like rock side.
Mhm.
But I'm gonna see what they actually have it categorized because I don't think it's categorized as rock still. Thunder, oh yeah, rock alternative, but it's another good one that like I think it may be better than Garth Brooks' version,
See, that would
and
be a
that
tough
says
one
a
too. That would
lot.
be one I would probably hardly judge because I've listened to that for a very long time. That's when
Yeah,
I love that song.
like
It's
20
like hard
plus
to,
years.
yeah, if you want to put a number on it, dick. But yeah,
But
I mean,
like
I would probably hardly judge it.
I would say check that one out. Again, it's one of those like now that I've heard this one by Overseen,
Hmm.
when I listen to Garth Brooks, I'm like, oh, this song makes more sense as a rock song versus a country song, even though the lyrics are very much
Which I can,
country esque.
yeah, I can see it.
But
It's yeah, this covers are tough. Like you have to have the right person doing it,
I
and
mean, Everything
Some
has to line
covers
up. The
are
vocals, the
better,
band, the instruments, everything.
and I will agree that some covers are better than others. Like the Alien Ant Farm cover of Smooth Criminal,
So
like
much
that's a
better.
tough one to, like, damn, like
Like
it's hard
so,
to.
that was the first time I ever heard "Smooth Criminal" was by Alien Ant Farm. First
Really.
time. And then when somebody, of course, my dumbass song debuted, I was like, "Oh my god, this is such a good song!" And one of my, not friends, but school people, they're like, "That's done by Michael Jackson." No, this is done by Alien Ant Farm. You stupid fuck.
So all
And
I can think of now is like all the TikToks, all the memes. Look, 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 look! It's the guy from Fortnite. Like, no, bitch.
pretty much, but somebody told me that, and I, of course, puffed up. I was like, "You're fucking stupid, whatever." And then, of course, I went home, got on the LimeWire or FrostWire, whatever we had at the time. Probably YouTube, honestly, to make sure. And then went, "Oh, MJ sucks." And then fast forward a couple years or a few years, whatever. And then I was like, I really like MJ. Why didn't I ever wasn't allowed to listen to Michael Jackson? Oh, that's right. My parents thought he was a pedo. Oh, we're
Yes.
very, very strong conservative Catholics. No wonder my childhood was all messed up. But not getting into that. Just saying that's the truth about my childhood. Fight me on it. But I find it so funny because I played Smooth Criminal for my parents one time. They're like, "Oh yeah, this is a good song." My dad's big into rock. He's the one that allowed us to listen to Nickelback because that was not a artist or band we should have ever been listening to growing up. Especially the Dark Horse album. That's all about strippers and whores and sleeping. But I remember listening to that song and being like, "Oh yeah, this is a cover song. This is done by Michael Jackson. You turn that shit off." Oh, how quickly the tables have turned when we find out it's a cover song of the people you don't like. Okay.
Yeah, but it's not by them, so it's okay.
Yeah, it's fine. It's not by him. Don't worry. Neverland was never involved.
Yeah,
Promise.
never.
But that seems to be like the biggest thing. And I see it so much, especially like on TikTok specifically, where these music albums and songs are being combined. I forget the technical term for it, but basically
Like the mashups.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
mashup's not the right word either. They have a technical, but yeah, mashup. Basically, Elton John just released his first single in years, and it's him taking two of his songs, supercomposing them together, and then maybe having like Britney came in on one and sing or saying something, and he's having other people come, and he can re-release it as brand new songs because it has a different melody and everything, but they sound really good together. And TikTok does probably the only thing to do good is you can discover all these weird mashups and the people are fanning for it so hard. Um, like there's one for Brooks and Dunn's Neon.
Neon Moon.
Yeah, I was like, oh, who does Neon? But that's a different artist. Neon Moon, where somebody overlaid almost a Hawaiian type sound to it, and it worked perfectly. And then you had
Really?
the try-hard purists who had a stick shoved so far up their asshole that they're like, "This sounds terrible. You don't mess with a fucking classic." Blah, blah. But from a perspective of someone who's like, I will listen to any music anybody puts in front of me. I won't like it all the time, but I will listen to it because that's what I like about like movies and comic books and video games and all that. Is I can find something that I never knew about, and listening to it is like the melody matches up. The melody actually changes the whole dynamic of the song, and it just sounds so much better. However, it's not a real song. He did it purely in a 1 minute clip for a TikTok video saying, "Did you know these two songs go together?" Whoop. And he never released it because in order for him to release it, he has to get rights from Brooks and Dunn's record label. So it's a whole, yeah. But I was like, oh, damn it. Fuck, that's such a good song version of it. Now when I hear Neon Moon, I can hear the melody of the mashup. And I was like, oh, what a missed opportunity right there.
Yeah, and it happens. You'll see those missed opportunities. It's something you like that you want to happen, but never do.
Yeah, Elvis Presley. We can see him.
Just go to Vegas, you can see them.
Not the same.
Not the same, but there are some guys that sound very close.
Oh, there are several people who sound fucking amazing like Elvis Presley. But I want to see the drug and disappointment in him.
Oh, trust me. You go to Fremont Street, you'll see the drug and disappointment. Elvis Presley, a few of them. Do you have a problem there? They might not sound exactly like you want them to, but you'll see the drug and disappointment Presley, and you may see him shit and die right there. You never know. That's how Fremont Street gets sound. I'll let you know.
I'm going. It's not authentic.
I'm going to Vegas in about 2 weeks. I'll let you know.
Fucking no, we're gonna do a whole other episode on that one. But
I get. I'll get back. I get back on Monday before podcasting. I'll let you know.
Stay tuned.
3 weeks from now. Fremont Street.
But no, that's covers of songs have always been almost, I don't want to say sacrilegious to a degree, where like if somebody butchers their song, it can like destroy that whole band. But it really depends on like who the song is. Like I've heard many covers of Thunder Rolls by Garth Brooks, and there's been several bands where I'm like, oh, this is a good band. I listen to them, and then when I hear the cover, I was like, you're fucking dog water. Screw you. Never listen to you again, because they ruined a song. And it's just that simple. Whereas if they do amazing, like Overseen was some nobody group, and now they got big because of Thunder Roll cover, because so many people like them because it sounds so amazing. I believe Garth Brooks even like listened to it, or he reacted some way and basically says, I love this version of it. And everyone's like, oh my god, if Garth loves it, I'll listen to it.
And also look at the way that the national anthem has been done. The renditions of that in millions of different ways. I mean, you have everywhere from, again, Whitney Houston, who killed it. Believe, did Prince do? No. Who was it? No, Jimi Hendrix did his on guitar, killed it.
Yeah.
I mean, he even had the rocket part where he had bombs bursting in air, and he did the sounds of everything on guitar. Roseanne Barr fucking destroyed it and sounded like shit when she did it, because she was an asshat and did it when she did it. And I mean, you have just different renditions of that as well. But
different singers,
songs like exactly, and those are different ways of being done. I mean, Roseanne's not a singer at all. I mean, she screamed the entire time she did it. But having people that can do having people that can do national anthem on an instrument blow me away. Dude, I still think Jimi Hendrix is probably the best one to ever do it.
Yeah.
I have heard people do it on guitar, saxophone. You know,
it doesn't hit the same as Hendrix did it, though.
Oh no, not at all. But this New Year's Eve, we went to Minnesota Vikings game. We had a guy that did the saxophone, and it sounded amazing. I mean, you could hear it, and it sounded great.
Yep,
it was awesome.
But that's also one of those things, like, national anthem never really had a record label assigned to it, if that makes sense. Like, there's no like, the most quote iconic version of it is just somebody singing, mostly probably in school because we were taught it. So that's one of those, like, I would say it's almost a test ground of, if you can sing this properly, you probably do some other cover songs. But at the same time, even a shitty person can sing the national anthem. It doesn't mean they should sing ever again.
Oh, yeah.
Never. Let that die just like your career did. But there's, I would say there's so many good covers, but there's more worse covers out there than there are good, and that's just simply because it's either a huge, dynamically different riff of that song, or it's just too similar that it's like, oh well, why didn't you just do it like this person did? Why are you trying to perfect the wheel? The wheel already exists. Just want to ask that though before we sign off. So that seems to be always a controversial piece, at least.
Yeah.
For those of us who listen to music on a regular basis. Yeah, that's me, not you.
Not all the time. I do listen to it, but not on a daily basis. It's more podcast than anything else.
You both. You got 2 ears.
I can't do it.
Yeah. Yeah, do
Nope.
it. All right. But we're gonna wrap it up with there. That's a perfect stopping point. So we talked about it all. What more do you want? If we keep going,
Right.
I'm gonna deter from music. We're gonna fucking weird fucking rabbit hole. There's a lot of weird shit I could talk about, especially with Hendrix and Prince and Whitney and Elvis and Garth and all. Yeah, we're like
Funny
go
thing
down
is,
the Garth.
it all goes around drugs. Yep.
And the Viper Room. Yeah, sure does. Sure, if you don't know that reference, you're too young. So yeah. With that said, make sure you check out the rest of season 2. And of course, if you want to play real catch up, go check out season 1. All the not songs. Look at me. We're singers now. Go check out all of season 1 as well if you want to play catch up. Other than that, it's been great. We haven't actually done music podcast yet, so this is the first of it, and I'm sure we'll do another one because there's always more you can do on music. Maybe make Rahgel listen to some fucking music for a change, rather than 6 people. And that's coming from me, who's listened to the same fucking artists for the last 30 years. So, without further ado, thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode. As always, I'm Sig, and here's, I guess, if I'm gonna be baby girl, that makes you poppy, and that's just weird. I don't know.
Big Daddy signing off. Bye, bitch.